Vous êtes sur Radio s'enchaîne. La radio qui donne la parole à ceux qui ne l'ont pas.
Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange!
2, 3, 4. Free Julian Assange. They aren't protecting you from misinformation, they're hiding the truth. Free Julian Assange. We can see the propaganda and our silence has become the proof. Free Julian Assange. They aren't coming for him, they're coming for us by way of him. Free Julian Assange. He's an example of what happens when you don't give in. They smeared his name and took his freedom, robbed him of the best years of his life. Now it's a shame on our country if we don't return him to his children and his wife. Free Julian Assange. It's a dark day for press freedom and democracy. Free Julian Assange. The journalist is supposed to report.
Julian's still in Belmarsh Maximum Security Prison just outside London. He's made an appeal for a review. This appeal is heard in front of a single judge, and that judge decides whether a full appeal can go ahead. We expect his decision sometime in the new year. First of all, I'd like to say thank you to the new president of Colombia, for his support of Julian in his speeches since he's been elected. So, yeah, thank you, and I think that is sufficient. That the president of Colombia has offered his support, and we give thanks. I am attempting to get Julian out of the ship.
Julian Assange is the hero of our time.
One of the most notorious and controversial figures in custody.
The maximum jail sentence of 175 years.
How does it feel to be the father of such a controversial figure, somebody who's known around the world?
Was that him on the phone before?
Yeah.
What are you talking about on a kind of regular basis?
It looks as though what journalists do for a living is seen to be a criminal act.
What are your worst fears?
That it just collapses under the strain. What's at stake? If he goes down, so will journalism. We're here because we have a child in the ship. We want to get him out.
Julian Assange, journaliste australien, doit être libéré, réhabilité, rendu à son travail et à sa famille. Ce serait dévastateur pour les journalistes du monde entier si le fait d'avoir révélé des informations gênantes pour le gouvernement américain devait s'avérer être un crime. Quand vous dénoncez un crime et que vous êtes traité de criminel, c'est que le gouvernement est criminel.
I am Sadiq Ibrahim, President of Federation of African Journalists, FAJ. If Julian Assange is finally imprisoned in the United States, journalists all over the world will wonder if it is worth the risk when they get classified information of public interest that deserved to be published. Punishing Assange for exposing war crimes poses a threat to all journalists worldwide.
El periodismo no es un crimen y hay que decirlo en todos los idiomas, desde todos los territorios y repetirlo las veces que sea necesario. La extradición de nuestro colega Julian Assange no solo es una afrenta a él y a su familia, es un escarmiento a todas y todos los periodistas del mundo. Por ello, esta causa no solo debe movilizar al sector, al periodismo, debe mantener de pie a la población mundial, porque lo que se está afectando es tu derecho a saber.
This is a danger for any media or journalist who publish stories based on leaked information. This bad decision by the British government is good news for all autocracies and enemies of freedom of the press. It threatens the freedom of journalists who investigate and question the responsibility of powerful states, and threatens to accuse journalists who expose corruption or crime of being spies who can be deported. This is a danger to all who fight for the true and the threat to free and independent journalism. Free Julian Assange.
The UK government's approval to extradite Julian Assange to the United States is shocking, disappointing, and it's shameful. More so because I recall about 3 years ago, the UK government held a global conference to defend press freedom, and in fact, it pledged to do so. Its decision now makes a mockery of that very pledge. Let us all be very clear, Assange committed no crime. He was only doing his job. Rather, he did yeoman service to the global community and humanity to expose the horrific crimes, the war crimes in Afghanistan and Iraq. Assange's conviction is going to set a wrong precedent, as it is going to impact the freedom of speech and expression, the freedom of press, and importantly, the right of citizens to information, which is critical to any democratic society. The global community of journalists, the International Federation of Journalists, and human rights activists are all standing behind Assange. We all demand that he be set free. Nothing short of this is going to be acceptable.
Hello, my name is Karen Percy and I'm with the Media, Entertainment and Arts Alliance in Australia. Julian Assange has been a member of the MEAA since 2007. In 2011, WikiLeaks won Australia's most prestigious journalism award, the Walkley Award for Outstanding Contribution to Journalism. Since then, there have been a number of international collaborations by journalists, including the Panama Papers, the Pandora Papers and other projects. This work has exposed serious global problems of corrupt, illegal behaviour by businesses, governments and individuals. If the extradition of Julian Assange takes place, it will put publishers, whistleblowers and journalists across the globe on notice that they are not safe in pursuing public interest journalism. Investigative reporting in Australia is already a perilous undertaking through the actions of the courts and governments and also the rich and influential. We know that whistleblowers too face grave consequences for speaking out in the public interest. We already have real restraints on journalism in Australia with our lopsided defamation laws, national security laws that seriously curtail what journalists can report, and governments which seem to pay lip service only to press freedom. The time is now for Australia's new government to lobby our key allies, particularly the United States President Joe Biden, to drop these charges. Press freedom depends on it.
Don't walk through that secret door, or soon you will cry. It's not allowed to have the key. Whoever touches it dies. How much is the truth worth? You will pay for bidding. A black swan flies already over the empty sea. Julian, we all know who they are, the guilty of your imprisonment. Julian is just out of cowardice. We have all been accomplices. Nobody knows, nobody has to know what happens in the room, more secret than the deep state. Who can dare not pretend not to see? We will invoke censorship to silence those voices. We'll ask what a lie is and what's reality. And what reality? Julian, your fight for our freedom now knows its killer. Julian is just out of cowardice. Each was an accomplice. Do not hope to change the sentence. We made our decision, and if anyone still opposes, great is our prison. Or soon you will cry. Don't cross the line. Whoever touches it dies. How much is the truth worth outside the prison walls? A black swan flies already, but you don't give a damn.
Vous êtes sur Radio s'enchaîne. La radio qui donne la parole à ceux qui ne l'ont pas.